I'm determined to get this filmed today, and I'm quickly losing daylight because goddamn winter. Hi everyone, my name is Jess and today I'm going to be going through my October reading wrap up. The last video I posted was actually my September wrap up, which was a month ago. I've been very busy. I really want to create a lot more content and get this going as much as I possibly can, but it's just so hard, man. But I'm determined. I'm slowly managing my time better. I'm slowly being able to schedule more. I basically get my shit together. Today, I don't want to go on about it. I just want to talk about what I've read in October and what I'm planning to read in November. So without further ado, here we go. First book I read in October, or the first book I finished in October because I started it in September, was City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I thought it was about time I read the Shadowhunter Chronicles. If you don't know or haven't heard, City of Bones is the first in the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, and it follows a girl called Clary who lives in New York, and one day she goes to this club with her friend and she witnesses a murder. But it turns out the murder isn't a normal murder. These people that were the murderers are Shadowhunters and they hunt demons, and the person they killed was a demon, and it just all goes from there. And it turns out that Clary's family has ties with the Shadowhunters, and it's this whole thing. There's 6 books in this series, and then there's like 2 other series as well. So my opinion on City of Bones is quite varied. I'm giving it like a 3 out of 5. That 3 is based purely on the fact that I did enjoy it. Like, I had fun, it was a fun story, it really engaged me to a point. Like, I can see where the fuss lies. Like, this definitely has come from the Twilight crazy mania days. So I did feel very nostalgic reading this, even though I've never read it before. The missing 2 for this is for the writing style. No offense, Cassandra Clare lovers, I just didn't like it. So like, it's such an info dump and like so much description that's not needed. Like, it's pretty hefty and it's just not needed. Also the romances, like if you've read them, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say what the fuck. Second book I read in October was the sequel to City of Bones, which was City of Ashes, within the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. And again, I'm sort of putting them all together, so I'm giving that a 3 out of 5 as well. Actually, maybe a 4 because I did enjoy it, or 3.5 because I enjoyed it more than City of Bones. I felt it, because there was less description and background necessary, there wasn't so much info dump, but it was still not quite there for me plot wise, and like style wise it just didn't really sit well with me. We'll see where it goes. Third and final book I read in October. I know I only read 3 books. I told you it's been a busy month. Those 3 books were a struggle. Like, I just finished the 3rd one. But anyway, the 3rd book that I read was History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I hear a lot about Adam Silvera from the booktubers that I watch, and I just really thought his stuff was right up my street. Like, if you don't know, History Is All You Left Me is about the death of a boy called Theo. The untimely death, he accidentally drowned. It's about the aftermath of his death from the eyes of his ex-boyfriend Griffin. So everything is through Griffin's eyes, and Griffin's meeting of Theo's new boyfriend. And Griffin also suffers with OCD and anxiety, which I loved in this. Again, I want to make a review for this because there are some points that I loved and then there are some points that I didn't so much love. But I will say that the anxiety and OCD representation is really, really great in this. I thought it was super, super realistic, and it wasn't so much harmful in any way. And I loved the relationship. I love some of the relationships in this. I found Griffin as a character very interesting, and his response to his grief very interesting. It was very sad, quite dense in the emotions, and I found myself like struggling to get through it because it was just so deep. It wasn't amazing, but it did make me feel things, and I liked the characters. That was the final book I read in October, and I know it's not a lot. Like I said, I've been extremely busy, but I thought to make this video a bit more meaty and to give you guys something to look forward to on this channel, I'd give you a little November TBR. There are quite a few books in my TBR purely because a lot of them fit into one series. I'm not expecting to read all of them in November. I have deadlines coming up and lots of things happening, so don't expect me to read all of these. The first one I started this morning, and it is Get Your Shit Together by Sarah Knight. This is a reread. I bought this earlier this year when I needed to get my shit together. I was having a big stress recently about university and all the work I have to do, and my prioritising and time management is so poor lately. I just felt like I needed something to pick me up and get me back on track. So that is this. I'm rereading Get Your Shit Together. It's super funny, and if you haven't read any of Sarah Knight's stuff, she also wrote the really popular book, The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck, and everyone loves it. So if you haven't read this, then I'd say definitely do it. It makes me feel like I'm actually doing something with my life. The second book in my November TBR is I'm aiming to finish the Mortal Instruments series. It's so pretty. I've already read City of Bones and City of Ashes, so I just have to read this month. I mean, obviously I'm not going to read all of them this month, but the rest in the series I have to read are City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. The final one on my November TBR is if I get bored with the Mortal Instruments and want to take a break from it, if I need something a bit lighter to get me through if I'm stressing, I've decided to also try and read Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. I'm going to read Moxie. Everyone loves this. It's another Zoella book club read, but I've heard loads of booktubers talking about it, and I'm really excited to read it. It just sounds like it's going to be so fun and like make me feel really cool and badass. Like, you know that feeling you get when you listen to The Runaways? It's going to be like that, but like with a book. And that is it for my October wrap up and my November TBR. If you agree or disagree with any of the books I read this month, or if you have strong opinions about the books I'm going to read, then let me know. Obviously, no spoilers please. I'm really into the Mortal Instruments story right now and I don't want anything spoiled. Please and thank you. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!